Hey, what is up, party people? Tony Fix here, Blue Green Artifacts. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Forgive me as I don't know, as I talk, I focus in a lot of different directions, but I know you're right there. I am getting a shipment of books ready to go to CGC. I have two actual sections. We're going to do one of those in this video right now. These are books that I'm going to have. I'm going to do as a pre-screen to CGC. Pre-screen just means that you choose a grade that you want to hit, and I'm going to choose 9.8 for this group of modern books. They're going to take a look at the book. If they see that it does not meet the 9.8 standard, they are not going to be grading it any further. They are not going to slab it. They're just going to put it in a pack and return it to me with the other books. For that price, for that service, I pay $5 for those books that are turned down. If it is a book that is a 9.8, then I just pay the regular grading fee. So it's kind of a way to hedge your bets. I'm not wasting money on books. A lot of moderns should not be graded if they hit a 9.6. Not for all of them, but for many of them. So let's go through these books. I'll talk about why I'm getting them graded. I have a lot of eBay sales. I've got 1,200 listings right now and 800 or 900 on Amazon. So I'm a pretty active seller. Haven't always been. I started with 2 or 3 listings and got excited when I sold a magazine for $10. I'm not. I have a regular job. This is still just a hobby for me, but it's a hobby that I've been able to ramp up and up and up, and build my personal comic book collection at the same time. So I have a lot of fun with it. I'm gonna get my kids in on it and have them start shipping books out for me before too long too. So anyway, let's talk about these books a little bit as we go. I'm not going to spend too much time on any one thing. I have a lot of reasons why I might send a book out to grade. Almost every book that I will grade, though, I will be selling. There are books that I keep for my own collection, but I made a conscious decision a couple years ago that I'm going to be selling books. If it's a book that I love, I might put that price really high because to me that book has more value. If you don't want to pay that higher price, great, it's my book. If you do want to pay that higher price, now it's your book, and now I've made money off of the book. So that's just the way I go about things. Let's get started here right away, though. We have, they got mixed up. Here we go. All right, first books, 2 books that I'm sending off to get graded. We've got, and I'm working on this ability to focus, Miss Marvel. This is Magnificent Miss Marvel 13. This only came out a couple months ago. This is the first appearance of Amulet. There's a little bit of heat on this Amulet character. It's going to have some association with Infinity Gems, possibly used. There's that Miss Marvel series coming out. It's kind of a flyer, and a lot of these are. Sometimes I get books graded because of gut feelings. If I am going to come back with a 9.8 that has some value, I really do like to be one of the first ones on the market. And that means I sometimes grade books that they don't have that value yet, but I think they will. So that's where we are in Miss Marvel. Next one up, we've got Prodigy, number 1. This is a variant. There were quite a few variants for this book. I am not even sure which one is the most rare, to be honest. There were retailer variants. There were lots of variants that were available just in the shop. Prodigy is a Mark Millar comic book that Mark Millar is basically owned by Netflix now. This is supposed to be in development right now for Netflix. This is kind of a James Bond, Jason Bourne kind of character, and I think it could do really well. It could be one of Netflix's first actual franchises, like an action movie franchise. I think it would be. It's a great twist on that genre, and there's some very big names trying to vie for that role right now. So we'll see. Next one up, I am speculating on Cassian Andor. This is one of the focus. This is a retailer variant of his first appearance. This is Rogue One #1. Cassian Andor has his own Disney Plus series coming up. There's not a lot of heat on that character now, but any Star Wars character who is the star of their own Disney Plus series should have some heat on them. So I'm speculating on them. We've got Immortal Hulk #12. This is the first appearance of the One Below All. I love this cover. I actually bought like 6 of these when it first came out. I even bought a 9.8 from Nick at Slabbed Heroes. Sold all my copies for about $30 a piece. Sold that 9.8. This is my last one, and it's in nice shape, so I thought I would get this one slabbed as well. Next book up, I'm getting slabbed only because of Boba Fett. I think this is kind of a cool cover. This is an old Dark Horse book. Star Wars Dark Empire 2, #2. There aren't a lot of these graded online. This is a nice copy. And it's Boba Fett. So if that can come back a 9.8, you know, even if I spend $25 or $30 slabbing and pressing, if this is a book that I bought for $3 back in the day, if I can sell it for $150, it's a great deal. I'm going to try to group some of these so we don't have to bring them up many times. Kind of mixed up a little bit. All right. Another spec that I have been thinking about is the next Spider-Verse movie. I am predicting, and probably other people as well, that Spider-Punk is going to show up in the next Spider-Verse movie. Spider-Punk, I think, would be a kind of a cult favorite. I've got a few of these. It's got a few of these covers that would just look great hanging up on somebody's wall. There's another one, Spider-Punk. These are Spider-Geddon #1, Spider-Geddon, Edge of Spider-Geddon, and then, where's the other one? There we go. And Amazing Spider-Man Spider-Verse #10. This is the first appearance of Spider-Punk, and this is the variant, the 1 in 25, I want to say. So when the first Spider-Verse movie came out, there was actually quite a bit of heat with those characters. Penny Parker and Spider-Man Noir and even the old Spider-Ham stuff. So we'll see if that happens with Spider-Punk as well. Again, if I can be one of the first ones to market on that stuff as the movie is approaching, great. Here, Star Wars Blood Ties. Boba Fett is Dead #2. This is the first appearance of Boba Fett's daughter. There are rumors, they are strictly rumors, about her appearing in the Mandalorian series. It could happen. It might not happen. We probably won't know for a little while. In the meantime, there's some heat on that book, and that is why I am getting it graded. Some more Star Wars spec. This is Dr. Aphra, pretty famous book at this point in time. Darth Vader #3, her first appearance. This is a first print, and I can't get there we go, focus over there. Thank you. I'm pretty high on Dr. Aphra. A lot of people are. Here's still a modern, but not exactly the same age. Back in the 90s, Amazing Spider-Man 362, second appearance of Carnage. Decent copy, probably not a great one to own in a 9.6. So if this is a 9.8, there's enough heat on Carnage now where his second appearance is going to pick up. Here is a total flyer. You might not even recognize this book or this cover. This is a book called Marvel Voices. This is #1. It was only one issue. This came out earlier this year. This is the barbershop variant. This was a book that was featuring some great young talented Black writers and artists and creators. There are multiple stories in here. I don't know. I have a gut feeling about this barbershop variant. I actually sold one copy of this for about $30, or $25 maybe. It hasn't really gone anywhere yet, but I kind of think it will. So I'm going to get my other couple of copies graded. and go see what happens. Here we've got some Vampirella. This is Vampirella number 2. This is the Stanley Art Journal. That is such an amazing cover. Very gifted cover. There were lots of variants of this, all with the same artwork and just kind of different colors and shading. This is the Blood Moon variant. So this is the ultra limited one, whatever that means. It's got the little certificate of authenticity on the back. It wasn't cheap. It was kind of didn't do much on the secondary market for quite a while, but actually there's a couple big sales of this recently. So I'm going to get mine graded and see what happens. Another character coming up, Fantomex, rumored to do something. I don't know. Fantomex is kind of a, come on, focus. I don't know. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. First appearance of Fantomex. Character, X-Men mutant character that came out actually just in the last 20 years, so it's not a super old character. But he and Dr. Nemesis, I am a fan of. Here's a book, one of my daughter's favorites, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. She actually has a copy of this in a 9.8. I think I have one as well. This is issue number 1, her first appearance, not Devil Dinosaur's first appearance. Actually, I do have Devil Dinosaur's first appearance, but that's in the other pile of books going off, not for pre-screen. So they haven't done a lot with her recently, but I think that's pretty much inevitable. Next up, we've got 2 copies of this book. I just love this cover. This is so cool. Dr. Fate number 1. This is not his first appearance. It's just a really nice cover. Dr. Fate is getting some heat. There's some talk of him appearing or showing up in either a series or in some capacity. Maybe it was I'm not sure where the word was, but again, I like the cover. It's got some heat on it. As a 9.8 right now is selling for more than 100, and again, that's kind of my minimum. Obviously, I'd love it if it sold for much more than that, but that's where it's at right now. So here we go. My favorite cover of all time, X-Men 268, the Jim Lee. Good Lord. I'm not good at this. I apologize. There we go. 268. I've had a few copies of this over the years. This is probably one of the better copies that I've owned. I don't know if it will hit a 9.8, but I'm going to try. Out of this pre-screen group, this is probably the only one that's for my own personal collection. Next one I want to get graded is this. Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 8. This is the second print. This is an all-black cover. It's kind of an interesting cover. I don't love it, but it's got a few things going for it. It's Miles Morales. It's a second print with unique art or with new art, and it's Miles Morales, so it's hard to... He's just on fire. Next one up, we've got Lumberjanes. This is number 2. This is the second print of number 2. Lumberjanes is a Boom Studios Boombox book. This is kind of a YA book, but it's their most successful. Boom Studios has that deal with Netflix. This has not officially been announced, I don't believe, but it is one of the there are very strong rumors of this in the works, Lumberjanes. This being the number 2 and a second print. Again, I like to get off the beaten path a little bit. All right, next up, we've got some Hawkeye books. So recently, the last time I sent books off to CGC, I got 2 books graded. I got one of these, the Marguerite Sauvage, or I don't know how to pronounce her name, Savage issue of, this is the 2017 series, Hawkeye number 1, and this is the Dave Aja variant of the same book. I got 2 of these graded. I got 1 of these graded. They all came back 9.8. The Savage sold for $250, and the 2 Dave Aja variants sold recently for $400 each. So yeah, I'm digging up all my other Hawkeyes and sending them in. This is not only Kate Bishop, who is the star of her own show coming up, but it is also the first appearance of Ramon Watts. Ramon Watts is Alloy. She is a Wakandan character and who is romantically linked to America Chavez. America Chavez, I am also specking on. I am rather high on America Chavez. If they bring in America Chavez in some show or some capacity, I think it's almost guaranteed that they will bring in Alloy at the same time, even though she is a very new character. I think it fits with their plans. It fits with the world of Black Panther. They don't have a ton of other side characters they can use. So why not? It would work. So other Hawkeye books, I've also got the design variant of that same book that we're sending off. We've got this. I'm not sending in a lot of hip hop variants, although they are really hot right now. But the hip hop variant of that book. And then this one is it's actually a 50 Years of Spider-Man variant cover of that same book. Has nothing to do with Kate Bishop on the cover, but I like that book, and I want to see if there's other people who like it as well. Staying on the Kate Bishop path, this is the all-new Hawkeye number 5. You can see how much I paid for it. This is the Women of Power variant. It's just a really nice cover. And it's got Pizza Dog on the bottom. Man, if you haven't run that Matt Fraction or read that Matt Fraction Dave Aja run of Hawkeye, you got to read it, and you will grow to love Pizza Dog. And I do look for Pizza Dog covers, and I think it's going to be awesome when he hits the screen. All right, next up, let's talk some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's 2 books that I'm sending off of TMNT, the IDW run, but I'm sending multiples of each one. So first, we've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is number 101. This is the first appearance of Mona Lisa, that character in the pink top. It's also the first appearance of this character down in the corner, Lita, who is an albino turtle. There's other young characters that are showing up too, but Lita in issue number 105, you get a glimpse of her as an adult, and there's some mystery there, of course, but it seems to be she is a future power in the world of TMNT. So being this is her first appearance, and this is the retailer variant, I have multiple copies of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them that I'm sending off to get graded, and let's see what happens. Along with my 6 copies of 101, I have 3 copies of 105. This is where you get to see her first appearance as an adult at the end of the book. So this, I actually had 4. I just got these. These just came out like 2 weeks ago. One of the Raws sold already for $60. So I immediately pulled all the rest of them off and decided I want to get them graded instead of selling them as Raws. We'll see. By the time I get those books back, maybe that whole arena will be different, and maybe that will not have been a good decision, but maybe it will. All right, next up, we have the first appearance of Dr. Nemesis. This is Invaders number 1 from 1993. This is the first modern appearance. He did have he first showed up in a Golden Age book that you're never going to find. So for all intents and purposes, this is his first appearance. Nobody is specking on this either. This is a retail or a newsstand variant. So yeah, you can get these for $3, $4, $5. But I think they're going to use them. He kind of came up around the same time that Fantomex did. We shall see. We have got a Heroes Con variant of Marvel's Superhero Secret Wars. This is the Miles homage to the Secret Wars 8, the famous first appearance of the black suit. These These have been pretty popular lately. There's not a lot that are graded, so I wanted to get mine graded and see what happens. Next one up is a Deadpool book, Deadpool #1. This is a retailer variant from Clover Press. This is a Kevin Eastman cover, actually. And I don't know, I just liked it. It was, between Kevin Eastman and the unique perspective. He's like falling upside down, I guess. Yeah, and it's a nice copy. I don't do a lot of retailer variants, but if they're nice, I'll be happy to grab them. All right, next up, we've got this. I will admit, this is a total flyer. This is a character that was getting spec'd on about 3 years ago. This is Voyager, the first appearance of Voyager. This is Avengers No Surrender number 675. For the love of God, will you just focus? There we go. This is the second print, similar to the Null, where the second print of the first appearance, well, his is the third, but kind of a portrait feature of that character. I won't get into my, this is the same book, but the retailer variant, I think the 1 in 25. I won't get into my theory on Voyager, but I don't think we're done with her. We'll see. All right, we've got Strange Academy #1. And actually, I think I'm going to move this book to the other pile because this book in Raw has been selling for $180, $200, which means a 9.8 would probably go for $5 or more, which means a 9.6 would still possibly be worth grading. I have actually a few of these. I think I already moved the other ones to the other pile, but this one's going to go there as well. We'll see. Next one up. Oh, you know what? I love Angela. I love Neil Gaiman, who created Angela. I love the story of how Angela made her way to Marvel. I do not actually know the history behind this specific book. I think there was some side Angela character who appeared in this. Angela's Asgard's Assassin #2. But I decided to put it in my CGC pack, and we'll get it graded and see what happens. Here's a little older Spider-Verse spec. This is the first appearance of Penny Parker. This was pretty hot when the show first came out, and it cooled off. I kind of think it'll be coming back again, so I am going to get mine graded. It's a nice copy. I wasn't sure if I should really get this graded or not. This is Wolverine #1. Oh, come on. Like, really? There should be a button that you can just like tap and then it'll focus. Whatever. You can see the word Wolverine. This is the adamantium variant. It is a blank, but oh, there we go. You can kind of see metal scratches on the cover. It's kind of a grayish white. I don't know. Some of these have hit, some of these haven't. This one didn't completely become a hit with the aftermarket, but it is adamantium. It's, I don't know. I again, gut feeling is what I go off of when I decide what I want to get graded. And last but not least, we've got Morbius, the Living Vampire #1. This is that big Inhyuk Lee variant that had some heat at the end of last year. Beautiful cover, movie coming up. Let's see if it grades out as a 9.8. If it does, I'm sure someone would love to hang it from their emo goth walls. All right. Hey, I appreciate you sticking around to the end of the video. Again, like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions about selling, I think that's really why I'm trying to make these videos. When I started out, there wasn't a lot of these online resources where I could ask questions. I had to kind of learn on my own and make a lot of mistakes, and I still make mistakes. But I have my own ideas now. I have my own strategies, and I'm happy to share them with you. There's a lot of comic book content out there. what to spec on, what books you should get, what books you should look out for, what books you should be selling, what books to look for in long boxes, what books to buy off the shelf and flip. I don't know. That's all well and good, but if you're buying the books to sell, but you don't really know how to sell them, you're going to lose the money. It's going to be a waste. You're going to watch your values go up and down. If you're buying for your personal collection, that's awesome. If you're buying to read, that's awesome. If you're buying, I buy for a million different reasons, but there are definitely books that I buy to sell. And that's what I like to talk about. And that's what I'd like to give you some information of why I'm choosing those, what I'm trying to think of. You notice in this pile, there are no Venom books. And that there's a reason for that. I think there might be a couple actually in this other pack, but while everybody's focused on one thing, try to focus on that next thing. You need to stay ahead of the game, especially with CGC grading, because of the time it takes to get these books back. If something becomes hot today and you're sending out all your books today to get graded, it becomes a risk. You don't know if that same thing is going to be hot once it comes back. So you really have to trust your gut and look into the future a little bit and try to guesstimate what's going to happen. But anywho, again, you have any questions, put it in the comments. About once a week, I get a chance to sit and read through everything, and I'm happy to answer questions if you got them. All right. You guys have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful afternoon, whenever the heck you're watching this. Again, thanks for tuning in. Take care.